Hello, welcome to this Monday's Monday meditation. Um, Today we're part of the 12-week series for basic mindfulness meditation, and this is the third week. Doesn't mean you can't be here and you should have, caught the first 2 weeks. Absolutely not. Each of these meditations can stand alone. Doesn't, it builds on each other a little bit, but um, not necessary to have seen all of those. Nevertheless, if you would like to catch up on the first two meditations, let me know, and I will send you the links on the YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, my name is Steph Scoopin, and I work with people who want to be, part of this shifting culture away from drama and that onus on the negative, at least in your own life. Um, and I work with people, helping them to respond to others and to life in kinder and more compassionate ways through offering mindfulness practices and inquiry. So today we'll spend some time being aware of body sensations. And the body is an integral part of your life and of your mindfulness practice. It can be a door into awareness, and it can also be an anchor into being present. And a lot of busy people find it really hard to stay with the body, to feel the body. And that's because the body gives feedback, gives you feedback on how you feel. And often, if you often feel anxious or restless, then your body will feel uncomfortable. And so for many people, they'll rather try to ignore those feelings than go to the root of them, simply because they don't know how to. And going to the root of them means finding out why these anxious feelings are there, or, could also be sad, frustrated, and finding out how you can make yourself feel more comfortable in life. And so quite often when I ask people, a client, like, how does this feel in your body? They really struggle to answer that question. So meditation isn't a practice that transcends the body or tries to get rid of the unpleasant aspects of the body. In a mindfulness meditation, you honor the body as part of your reality, because the body really is the vehicle that allows your consciousness to interact with this world of form. And the world of form, this world of form is one level in which we experience what we call reality, right? And the world of form, that reality, is where we touch stuff and where Newtonian physics applies most of the time. And also where a lot of scientific experiment is based. And like the senses, sound and smell are subtle expressions of this world of form. And then even more subtle realities are light and energetic interactions, that those we can't see. But they've now measuring the way that emotions can transfer themselves from one body to another body, even being a few feet away from each other. And some of these subtle energetic interactions we can measure quite confidently. And others take a lot of invention and effort to measure, like, for example, subatomic particles. And I bet you heard of particle accelerators, which are those huge tubes, kilometers long, that are used to make particle interactions visible. And thought is one of the energies that we don't yet know how to measure. So that is a reality that is really, really subtle for now. The body allows you to embody your awareness, your consciousness. Um, both gross and subtle influences can be felt in the body. You can feel pain or pleasure in any number of shades in between. And most of the time, these sensations seem to be caused by outside influences. When you go into inquiry and you go into mindfulness deeper, you often find that that link isn't that obvious. It's not maybe not that true all the time. And you can also feel sensations that are triggered by thoughts. And most of the time we call these emotion. And emotion causes a sensation in the body. And so most of these sensations are permanent, they move through. And sensations that are triggered by thought often move through faster, but not always. And even things like that we call chronic, like chronic pain, tend to be there and then not there. As when you are somebody who's chronic pain, then you will notice how that pain can move through. Hey, Linda, I've started with the recording. The body gives you feedback on where you are in a physical reality, as well as you are in the subtler realities. It's like an antenna. The body is like an antenna for how your life is going. And that information is called sensation for the body. And the more we're in touch with our bodies, the better we're able to navigate reality. For example, we can practice balancing postures in yoga, and they don't have to be very difficult, can just be, standing on one foot to achieve more balance in our lives. And chronic stress and tension, as well as trauma, can get stuck in our muscles and the joints and the fascia of the body. And in the long term, they can accumulate and they create pain and inflammation and disease. And then gentle movement and mindful awareness, like what we're going to be practicing today, can free some of those things. And the longer and more you practice, the more you can free yourself from past impressions that are stored in the body. It is important to remember that none of these techniques are called, or there are all heal techniques. And, sometimes a release can trigger something that is really hard, or even at the time impossible to deal with, just by sitting with it. For example, there might be real fear or anger or memories or even physical pain can come in. And if it's overwhelming, it's always a good idea to ask for help, share with people what you're going through, and combine these kind of techniques like meditation, mindfulness, with other things to achieve best results. So in this meditation, we'll pay specific attention to the sensations in the body without trying to move them or control them or make them do anything at all. So let's get ready to meditate. As always, the invitation is to sit comfortably and easily, ideally with the spine up and the chest open so that the breath can flow easily and gently. And if it feels safe, I'd invite you to close your eyes. If you don't want to close your eyes, to just look away from the screen, maybe looking down and not focusing on anything in particular. Mm. Letting the eyes rest in the middle distance. Becoming aware of the breath. And just allowing the breath to flow naturally, whatever that is for you right now. Mm. Noticing the sensation of breath as the air comes past your nostrils and goes into the back of the throat and down the neck and into the chest. Noticing the expansion and then the collapse of the chest and the air rushing back out. Maybe notice the quality of the air, whether it's cold or warm or has any smells associated with it. Notice if the quality is different, the air coming into the body to the air coming out of the body. Just keep paying attention to the soft rhythm of inhalation and exhalation. Notice all the different parts of the body that are involved in breath. Notice the obvious and also the subtle sensations. Your next inhalation, follow the sensation of the breath all the way down into the body. And bring your awareness all the way down to the feet. Noticing the feet touching the ground, being touched by shoes or clothing. Noticing the sensation of skin and of the inner body. The subtle energy of the toes, and the soles, heel, and the ankles. And become aware of the lower legs, shins, the calves, and becoming aware of the knees, thighs, and the hips, and becoming aware of the buttocks, the genital area, and becoming aware of the lower abdomen. These are often areas where we carry tension, the abdomen, stomach area. And just notice if there is any pain or tension, and just allow it to be there for now. Become aware of the stomach and liver area, just underneath the rib cage. Again, noticing any discomfort. Maybe just nodding to it. Just notice, I see you. Noticing the chest, You might even be able to sense your heart beating. And become aware of the shoulders, another area where we often store tension. And if you find it, just notice it. Just notice it. This is what it feels like. It's here right now. Notice any desire to move away from it, to want to shift it, to explain it. And bring the awareness back to the sensation. Become aware of the arms, wrists, hands, palms, and the fingers. This is often a very easy way to feel the body's energy field, and the inner body is in the palms and the fingers. Lots and lots of sensory nerves there. It's easier if you put your hands on your thighs, palms facing up, just noticing. Becoming aware of the spine, the length of the spine, from the sits bone to the base of the skull. And just take a moment to explore the length of your spine and the vertebra and the muscles with your awareness. Notice the sensations of the throat, breath, maybe swallow. And then face, another very sensate area. Notice your jaw, again checking for any tension, and just allowing it to be there. Maybe you can even feel the sensation of teeth. Notice the tongue. One of those muscles that we use a lot every day. Bringing the awareness up to the temples, the forehead, the eyes. You might be able to sense the eyeballs. Become aware of the top of the head. And the back of the head. And become aware of the whole body. Notice the obvious sensations. There might be the touch of clothing, connection to the chair or the surface you're on, connection to the ground. Just observe. Notice if there is tension. Was there tension, discomfort, maybe even pain? You can even acknowledge it with an internal naming. This is what it is: tension, tension, pain, pain. Allowing it to be there, but also acknowledging it. Acknowledging it with a nod or a bow. Pain, tension, discomfort. If it gets too much, move your attention away from it or mindfully shift your body to a more comfortable position. And that's okay. It's always okay. It's no use to try and force ourselves to be okay with pain, to sit with pain. There's a gentleness in the awareness of it and the allowing of it, but also in allowing us to move away from it if it's too much. Allow yourself to feel the inner body. Maybe start with the hands lying on the thighs. Can you feel the palms of the hands? Maybe they're warm or cold. Maybe they're tingling. Mm, Moving the awareness slowly through the body, feeling those subtle sensations of energy, of aliveness. Notice that some parts of your body are easy to feel and others are different. Just notice. Notice the differences, the subtle nuances of sensation. And allow your mind to be drawn to different parts of the body. Notice when the mind wants to interpret or explain what is happening. Oh, I've got this pain because of this, and maybe if I do that, then that's gonna. And just notice and then move back to being aware of the sensation and about letting it be. And if that's not easy, then come back to breath for a moment. And just notice the inhalation and exhalation. And then allow yourself to feel the subtle sensations of the body again. Notice if a sensation dissolves as you're paying attention to it. Maybe it'll just move to another part. Maybe you'll feel your foot and then your nose and your ear and an itchy spot on the head and then another one on the shoulder. And just allow your awareness to move with those sensations. And gently bring the awareness back to the breath. And become aware of the body, the whole body. Become aware of the connection with the chair and the ground and of your environment. Take one deep breath in and let go. And another deep breath in and let go. And in your own time, slowly and gently, you may open the eyes. Um, I want to quickly go over a question about how to sit with pain, like if there is a lot of pain, when it's difficult to be sitting. Um, so there's a variety of things to be done. So first of all, sitting with it again and again and just starting afresh. And sometimes you might experience some letting go. And other times you might experience fear because the pain can become a part of who you are, and it's scary to let it go. There's fear that what happens when I relieve that tension, what's underneath it, will it get worse? And then notice that and just hold it with a loving attention. Just like, yes, pain, yes, fear, here it is, here it is. Naming it. And if you need to move away from it because it is too much, you can also imagine it like a crying child and hold it. Like, you would a crying child after it's fed and you've got the diapers changed, right? First you check what's wrong with it. So first you check and then you hold it and you just allow it to cry. And it's also important not to try and muscle the pain into it being gone through meditation or through other spiritual practices. Um, it's sometimes perfectly appropriate to take painkillers or to do some other things to release the pain. Meditation isn't an all heal, and it's a part of a holistic approach to healing. And most importantly, sit comfortable. There is no reason why we should be sitting in discomfort. If one position becomes painful, stay maybe for a little bit, but then move. You can hold it in a little bit of loving awareness, but then move and be comfortable. And you can always move mindfully. And especially if you have chronic pain, it is just as important to bring awareness to the areas that are comfortable and sit with that comfort and, take refuge there. Because chronic pain can weary you. So you also need to pay attention to other areas of your body and other areas of your life. So thank you for coming to the Monday meditations today. And as usual, the invitation is to practice sitting for maybe 10 minutes every day this week. If you want to listen to the whole meditation, you can, of course. That would be preferable. But whatever feels right for you, just a few moments every day, and be welcome to share what's coming up for you anytime. Have a good rest of your evening.